Today I fucked up by asking my neighbor to grab my packages. I, 33 female, and my husband, 34 male, live in a little suburban neighborhood. We got really lucky when it comes to our neighbors. Every so often when we are out of town, or if they are, we will grab each other's deliveries. Sometimes we've even brought back little treats or things from vacation. 10 out of 10 would neighbor again. I will be super sad when we move one day. Now, like your average millennial, I spend probably too much of my disposal income on Amazon. I usually every 2 weeks will make a purchase on stuff I want in the house. I try to line it up with my paychecks, so I don't spend too much and go into credit card debt. So on this particular order I probably had about 10 items. Cotton balls, nail polish remover, some new earrings, etc. etc. But in particular I saw a really cute cheap set of lingerie that I wanted to buy. I also finally saved up to buy a mini steam cleaner vacuum so I could do some deep cleaning around the house. Now, because I had ordered so many items at once, my items were being delivered on different days. No worries, we have Amazon Prime. I live close to a warehouse. I work from home. We mostly stay home. We got this. Except for, my husband has been dealing with stomach pain on and off for the past 9 months. It has been noticeably really bad for the past 3-4 months. He's had the tummy rumbles and stage 4 gurglies for the past few days. His family has a medical history of, politely put, bad guts, which in all honesty is part of why he refused to see a doctor. He blamed it on his bad guts. Now, I love my husband to pieces, but the man does not go to the doctor. Ever. He also likes to claim he never gets sick. Alas. So Saturday morning rolls around and he mentions, if my stomach hurts this bad tomorrow I might want you to take me to urgent care. Alarm bells. My husband never wants to go to a medical facility. He always teledocs. I tell him we're going right now if he's even considering it, that means it's bad. To be fair, he grew up in a house with parents who were medical professionals. He only goes if he really needs to. He is an anti-doctor. Roll up to urgent care and 1 CT scan later. My husband is now being transferred to a hospital for a surgery consult to now possibly get his appendix out as it is infected and inflamed. His surrounding organs are also pretty inflamed and a bit swollen, so it's a tricky situation. We got to urgent care around 11 a.m. At the hospital around 9 p.m. Still waiting, surgery? No surgery? When are we gonna see the doctor? Etc. It's now Sunday am and we're still waiting on a definite answer as to how this is going to go. I get an alert from Amazon in the meantime that my steam cleaner has been delivered. We live in a pretty safe neighborhood, but this was a bit of a purchase and it wasn't put in an Amazon box. I didn't want my steam cleaner to be sitting out in front of the house for someone to come by and swipe it. I quickly message my neighbor, explain what's happening, and she says that it's not a problem, she will get it for me. Thanks neighbor, you da best. After some consults with doctors and surgeons my husband is now not getting surgery. We learned this weekend that the appendix can apparently disintegrate itself in a situation like this with antibiotics after a long period of getting inflamed and infected. Isn't the human body amazing? We're getting discharged, follow-up APPTS, the whole shebang, etc. By the time we finally get home it's now about 6 p.m. and we are wiped. On the way home we grabbed meds and groceries so I could make sure my husband was comfy and has good snacks while he recovers. It totally doesn't even dawn on me that my neighbor picked up my package because I am just exhausted. I was up till 1 a.m. the night before in the hospital waiting. Plus sleeping on a hospital sofa in the room with the nurses coming in to check on my husband. Ya girl was spent. So out comes my neighbor, her husband, and her 2 kids, both younger than 13, to give me my packages. That's right. Packages. Not 1. 2. You know what I didn't get a delivery alert for? That really cute lingerie I bought. You know what was clearly labeled on the outside of the package as it also was not in an Amazon box? That really cute lingerie I bought. You know what was in a semi-transparent bag? That really cute lingerie I bought. The kids were actually the ones who ran next door to grab my deliveries and came in laughing and asking what it meant. After a slightly embarrassing and very funny convo, I get my things. Thank them. Apologize for scaring her children for life. They laugh and said it was a good chuckle all afternoon. The husband admitted he misunderstood, thought it was a delivery for his wife, and a present for him, and then was sad when it turned out to be mine. All in all, kind of the exact laugh we needed after being in the hospital all weekend. The real kicker? Smiling face with tear. The lingerie didn't even fit and now I gotta return it. Too long did not read. I asked my neighbor to get my Amazon delivery when I wasn't home thinking it was only one item. It ended up being 2 items. One being lingerie. Neighbor's kids were the ones who grabbed the deliveries. Everyone had a good laugh at me. I ain't mad. That's just life. Hope you all laughed as much as we did. Tears of joy. Does the lingerie fit your neighbor? Give it to the wife as a surprise for her oh so devastated husband. Keep the giggles and the therapy bills for the kids going. This is a funny story lol. I thought you weren't allowed to return undies. Bake a plate of cookies as a thank you and deliver them in the bag. Sounds like your neighbor and her kids got an unexpected education on lingerie. And at least now you have a funny hospital story. Today I fucked up by throwing my coworker under the bus. This happened today. I work for a chain cafe and I was covering a shift at a location that I don't usually work at. A large group of elderly customers from the nearby retirement village all came to sit and have coffees. According to my coworkers, they are a regular group who come every week. There were at least a dozen in just one group. They all ordered drinks and food separately, and there were a whole bunch of other customers coming in as well, so things got pretty chaotic. I was at the register taking orders while a trainee, she's been at the store for 3 weeks, was making coffees and our team leader was making the food. A couple of times 1 or 2 of the customers from the large group came up to the busy trainee to ask about coffees that they hadn't received. She managed to sort out most of the orders and get everyone what they needed, except for one. Once the line at the register was finally gone, I went to the coffee machine to help the trainee catch up with orders. We decided I'd take over coffees and she could serve customers. While we were swapping, she told me about the one missing coffee. While I was at the machine, one of the customers from the large group came up to me to ask about her coffee again that she'd been waiting a while for. I didn't see the coffee on the list, so I assumed the trainee had cleared it by accident without making it. I was still busy making orders with more coming in, so I hastily said, "Sorry about that, I think our trainee was a bit flustered. Your coffee's coming right up." As soon as I said it, I thought to myself, wow, that was rude. I hope the trainee didn't hear me. Hint. She did hear me, very clearly. Finally, when all the orders were out and there were no more customers to serve, I went out back to do some dishes. The trainee came out the back as well and confronted me about calling her a flustered trainee, especially when she was the one who told me about the missing coffee. Immediately I started a flurry of apologies. "I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. That was such a shitty thing to say. I don't know why I said that. I'm so sorry," etc. She accepted my apology, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. After a minute I started to realize that the missing coffee was probably my fault. It was bought with a voucher, which I'm not used to processing. I've done it one other time ever, so it's highly likely I input something wrong and the order just didn't show up. As soon as I realized the issue, I told the trainee and apologized to her again for blaming something on her that was very likely my own mistake, and offered to go tell the customer that it was my fault. She immediately told me not to worry about it and that it was okay. I said, "But it's not okay," but we couldn't finish the conversation because more customers had come in. I decided to go tell the customer anyway when I went to their table to get their dishes. After all, they're her regulars, not mine, and I don't want them thinking she's incompetent because of my thoughtless comment. The whole group was very gracious and said they appreciated me owning up to the mistake, but I still felt like shit. I spent the rest of the shift doing damage control. I apologized to the trainee a few more times. I assured her she was doing a fantastic job. She really was. She's better on the job than I was at 3 weeks, and we parted ways amicably. However, I'm sure she's just being professionally amicable and that her first impression of me is always going to be that asshole who sold her out the second things got stressful. I'm sure this is one of those cringe moments that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. Too long did not read. I told a customer that her missing coffee was our new trainee's fault, even though it turned out to be my fault. I think you're overthinking this. You realized your mistake and apologized and made it right with the customers. They've more than likely already forgotten about it. You shouldn't beat yourself up over it. The throwing under the bus wasn't that big a deal, and your apology was sincere. Give her respect of believing her when she said things are okay now. Flustered trainee is the most wholesome insult I've ever heard. Maybe that got under her skin for a minute, but you didn't say anything to regret. Just move on with your life. Thanks for the comments, guys. You've helped me realize that I'm probably just overthinking things and that I can probably let it go now. Although my new worry is that I made it weird by apologizing too much lol happy crying face. You apologized sincerely, made it right with the customer, and will clearly learn from your mistake and be even better next time. Go easy on yourself. You did good.